You're listening to episode 634 of the Father Bills podcast. Welcome back. This week's episode is entitled Love the Marginalized, given on the 6th Sunday in Ordinary Time, 2018. Today we hear from the Gospel of Mark about the leper that was healed. The same account occurs in Matthew. When I was in seminary, Father Tetzel, we had a class called Exegesis. Do you remember that? And it's about how to analyze a scriptural text from all kinds of perspectives. And the verses basically that encompass the story, in my case in the Matthean version, were only 4 verses pretty much. And the letter or the writing that I finished with was 25 pages long. My friends, there's much to be said here. I know the Holy Father this week said our homily should be no more than 10 minutes. Well, in all seriousness, when we say back in the day, 2,000 years ago, it was really back in the day. When someone had leprosy, as you hear from the Old Testament, they had to completely remove themselves. And in fact, if they came into the company with other people, you heard, right? They'd have to announce that they're a leper. Can you imagine that? And no one to come in contact with them. Now, it makes sense because in one sense, they were talking about they couldn't be within the tent area. They were traveling as Israelites. If they had sickness or anywhere else, they did not know how to cure this. And so they would stay and quarantine these people. And we still today will quarantine people if they are seriously ill and we don't know how to, like the flu, right? We quarantine. But these persons, to be mindful of this, the persons were basically to be avoided. Lepers were the outcast. They were now the marginalized. But then Jesus came and changed everything. He was the one who did not avoid them, but rather sought them out. He did not hesitate even to touch them, which would render him ritually impure. But he cared not for that rule and touched the leper. And he healed him, and not just his illness, but healed him of his sins. And he does this other places in the scriptures. So who are the people that we avoid today? Who are people with whom you are uncomfortable with? Who is it that you are angry at right now? Who has said hurtful things to you? Who holds a political view contrast to your own? Who has the world said are the incurable? Who are the unwanted? Who are those who smell or dress strangely? Who are living an immoral life? Who are those who mock the faith? Who are argumentative? Who are the impolite? Who are the arrogant? Who are the pride-filled? Might these be you in some part or in whole? Might they be me? See, Jesus gives us a lesson. And that lesson has homework. And it is not easy. The homework is to imitate Jesus. So I want to encourage you this week to seek out someone whom you avoid, or keep at a distance, or dislike. I'd like to ask you as homework to consider letting go of your fears of this person, or fears in general, and know that those other people need love just like you do. Who knows? maybe your simple touch, a glance from your eyes, a smile on your face, a greeting of friendliness, time spent listening, time spent praying for them, and some time spent reconciling may change the other person's life. Who knows? Maybe it could change your life. Thank you again for listening to this episode of the Father Bill's podcast. Well, as I am producing this particular episode, I see that tomorrow is Ash Wednesday, and that means ashes on the forehead and fasting and almsgiving and penance and, no meat on Fridays and a bunch of rules, right? No, actually that shouldn't just be a bunch of rules. Ash Wednesday is a wonderful time to be able to recognize that we are ashes. We are dust. God has made us from the earth. God has made us from nothing. The whole creation is from God. And by recognizing this sign on our forehead on Ash Wednesday, we then make that proclamation. And it's not one that today people go, oh, look at you, you're so awesome looking. That's kind of humiliating, actually. And the scriptures remind us to not let your left hand know what your right hand is doing and to pray in secret. And so that the idea there is so that we don't make a scene for our good, for our making a sign of how good we are. And so actually, you know what? Those palms that may have been crushed and burned, and now as ashes are put on your head, are actually signs of humility or humiliation, especially in our culture. And so I want to encourage you to wear them all day long, as if you can, and to make that sign. Make a sign of humility and repentance as well. And that's what Ash Wednesday begins for us. It begins then the first day of Lent, where we are involved in prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. And I want to ask you to encourage you to consider doing something for Lent that helps you grow closer in your faith and helps you to love and be more charitable to others. And why? Ultimately, why? Is for the greater glory of God. And so if you're just doing something because you're like going to give up chocolate just because that's not helping you in any of those ways, then toss that aside and find something better, something that'll really help you. And there's lots of stuff online, and I'll be posting stuff on my Facebook page, which, by the way, if you want to go there, go to my Facebook page, you can. You can start that by going to my webpage, fatherbill.org. And there you can find the Facebook page and email me if you have any comments or questions, anything like that. You can see the Instagram and Twitter as well. And on there, I will do my best to help give ideas for Lent. Ideas that may resonate with you and some that may not, and ideas from other people as well. So in the meantime, may God bless you and have a great Lent. Bye-bye.